All right, let's go ahead and start diving into Systems Manager within the console. We just had an overview of Operations Management, which you can see here on the left side of the console. And let's just go ahead and walk through these 4 different capabilities. The first thing we have is Explorer. Now, Explorer is going to allow us to quickly view ops-related data and tasks. So if we click on Get Started here, it's going to walk us through an interactive setup. It's going to create some IAM role for us, which is a CloudWatch event role. And the CloudWatch events are how we're generating our ops items that we want to interact with. We can configure default rules. So using those CloudWatch events, AWS provides a default set that we can enable for viewing. So we'll leave this checked. Then we set up our data sources that are used to populate our widgets that we're going to set up. And you can see there's several listed here, including patch compliance and EC2. Now, you'll also notice that not all of them are supported because of the business plan that I have. So if you have a support plan of business or enterprise, that will unlock all of the features. I'm on a basic or free support plan, so I don't get access to all of that. Now, what I can do is I can also specify a tag for reporting. We'll leave the default here, and I'm going to click on Enable Explorer. And there we go. It's that simple. So now, after a while, we should see some data populated. Now, we might not see it here because I just recently started running some instances, and I'm not really performing a lot of actions or API calls that might get measured and output into this dashboard. But you can see it's going to give us our instance count, how many managed instances we have, and we'll discuss those a little bit later on over in the instances and nodes section. We can see which AMIs are in place, trusted advisor, and then it even shows our compliance for patching. Now here at the bottom we have our ops items. So based on those rules that we put into place, our operations team can come in here and they can see, hey, we have so many unresolved ops items. And then on the right side, we have the severity level that we've classified. So what's nice is that we can see quickly how many ops items that we need to take care of. Now, there's obviously none here because I have nothing going on within this account. But this is a very efficient way to see how many unresolved operational items you need to take care of. And they even give you this fancy graph down here showing you over time the different ops items categories that were reported. Now, before we wrap up this Explorer clip, you'll see that they have a recommended configuration where we can set up a resource data sync across regions and accounts. So let's go ahead. I'm going to go in here. I'm not going to complete it, but you can see we give it a name. We can include our accounts. So if I was in a master organization account, we would be able to select all accounts in our organization, or you can select specific organization units from the organization service. So this allows us to centrally log and monitor different ops items in all of the regions, as you can see here, in one location for all of our accounts. So this is a very powerful tool that's offered to us within Systems Manager. Now, when I canceled out here, you'll notice it took me to the settings page. Now, you can see all of the different rules that were enabled by default. SSM, OpsItems, and then it has the category or service, and then the different rules that are in there. And you can see they're all enabled. So before we wrap up, let's just dig into one of these issues. We'll do EC2 issue, and you'll see it brings us to EventBridge. So EventBridge is a new service within AWS that allows for notifications or events to trigger whatever resource you need, whether it be some type of alerting tool like PagerDuty or whatever you choose. We can see our rule details at the top. We see the event pattern that we're looking for. And then we have our targets, which is our ops item that we defined when we were setting this up. So that's going to do it for digging into Explorer within Operations Management. Let's go ahead in here, and in the next clip, we'll pick up with OpsCenter. Okay, welcome back. Now, we just got done exploring the Explore capability here, and let's dive into OpsCenter. So under the same operations management, we have OpsCenter here. And OpsCenter is going to allow us a central location where our different engineers can come in and resolve our different items. So using Explorer, which we looked at in partnership with OpsCenter, we can start resolving items. Now, we don't have any that are open or in progress because I have literally one instance running, so there's not a lot of opportunity for ops-related items. But you can see they have a nice little dashboard for a quick viewing. We have our status summary, so what we have open and in progress. We have sources with the most open items, and then we have a ops item list by source and age. And you can see they have 0 to 30 days, 31 to 90 days, and then greater than 90. So if we had some items in here, we would see them in order and start being able to resolve them as needed. Now you can also see we can view resolved ones. So if we resolve them, they go to this resolved view. And these issues in here are going to be things like security issues from Security Hub, maybe some type of degraded performance for your volumes on your EC2 instances, or maybe even an alert where some of your EC2 instances shut down and you don't want them to. Like maybe say a domain controller that needs to be up at all times. If it shuts down, you can have an ops item for that can be acted on within OpsCenter. So this is a very powerful tool to use in conjunction with Explorer. Now, if we open up OpsItems here, this is where we can create a new ops item. So let's go ahead and click this and let's check this out. So we give it a title. I'll just call this test. We give it a source. So information about the item origin. So I'll just go ahead and do test source. We can specify a priority here. And by specifying priorities, it allows us to quickly identify higher priority ops items than lower ones. We can specify a severity here. So critical to low. We can define a category. So what does this fall under? Cost, security, etc. We give a description. We can do a deduplication string, which essentially allows us to avoid creating duplicate ops items within our Systems Manager account. So what happens is Systems Manager will check within OpsCenter when you're creating a new ops item, and it will see if this dedupe string already exists when you're defining another one, and if it does, it won't create it. And then the last thing we have here is notifications. So we can publish notifications to a subscription whenever these ops items come into play. Now, what we would do is we would add a related resource here. So I can scroll down here and you can see there are several different resources. So if I just do instance, I don't have an ID, but we could enter our instance ID and then add that to this ops item and then create it. And once that's created, it will allow us to monitor and act on those items whenever issues come up that need resolution. So that'll go ahead and do it. We'll end this OpsCenter's talk here. And then in the next clip, we're going to discuss CloudWatch dashboards and Trusted Advisor and Personal Health dashboard.